last December Brown Sugar Confessions show before 2022, the year of hope and the end of the year of our COVID plague, too. I'm Jenny C. I happen to have been gifted the opportunity to be your moderator for the evening because Dr. Val is still celebrating. We might have her back. We might not have her back during this whole entire wonderful show. So cross our fingers she stays on. She's got some fun things to share with you about her birthday. Happy belated birthday, Dr. Val, and happy belated anniversary.
Thank you so much, guys. It was my birthday and our anniversary. So I am in Costa Rica. My connection is okay, but I might drop off. So the beautiful and amazing Jenny C is running this show tonight, only that you can get on Power 1017. So Jenny C, take it away, love.
Yes, thank you so much. So, we have an extra special person today, CeCe. CeCe, tell us where you're dialing in from today.
I'm in Point Roberts, Washington, on the beautiful Pacific Northwest Ocean, overlooking a point of, I guess it's a peninsula. I see the islands. It's really pretty. Very cold though.
How big are the waves?
Yeah, big waves. Big waves.
Ones?
The waves were so big 2 days ago, they were like literally reaching the property line of our home. It was amazing, gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
I saw a whale.
Oh.
A whale.
I want to come and watch a
Right.
whale.
Tail in the air. It was really cool. Really exciting.
I think we need to do a special show, Dr. Vale, where we will tune in from this location.
Yeah.
We need our viewers to vote how soon we can schedule this.
I want to go up there to Point Roberts because you have to go through Canada to get there, right?
You can only get to Point Roberts through British Columbia. So it's a peninsula it's American though. It's part of Washington state, but you can only access it through Canada. And I'm a dual citizen. I'm Canadian and American. So most of the people that live on the point are, related to Canada and the States in some way.
It sounds awfully.
So it's a really interesting community.
It sounds awfully bougie to me.
Wait, we have the woman who's always going away on cruises and is right now out of the country for an undetermined amount of time to celebrate her birthday and anniversary. We love you, Dr. Val. But sometimes, So listen, Miss T, what is going on with you, sweetheart?
Oh, man, it's another day in the age, just counting down to the end of the year of our plague, 2021. And that's all we can do for right now. I had a very, very long and wonderful weekend of belly dancing, and I'm a little tired, but I'm excited because, it's the end of the year. This is when we get a lot of requests for dancing. So let's just dance the rest of the year away. Let's do it.
Awesome. How long you been belly dancing, Miss T?
Oh man, I have been belly dancing as a professional since 2008. I've been studying since 2001.
Awesome. People don't know about all this belly dance. We have to talk about that one day. That's phenomenal.
Oh, belly dance and the sensuality.
Ooh.
So much fun. So much to talk about. Let's do it in 2022.
Well, we'll be hinting at this a little bit later in the show, folks. Don't worry. We won't leave you hanging on this topic. So, Edna Mood, what's up, girl?
It's the end of the year. I just sent out the last of my floor washes, handmade incense, candles, dips, all of that for my New Year's Eve customers that will be doing ritualing with me. When I say your girl is tired, your girl is tired, but I put it in, I did the work, and now I'm relaxing. I really am relaxing. It's time. It's time.
I love that. I love that. I mean, one of the things folks who are listening into the show, we need you to remember you must put in self-care as a gift to yourself. This is the holiday season. It started earlier around Thanksgiving time with the beginning of the Jewish holidays, and it's going to build up all the way through January for a lot of us. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Please order lots more of Edna Mode's products, and please join us on our Patreon because we may have some other goodies available to you if you subscribe to us there. CeCe, what is the hot topic for today?
Well, today's hot topic, it's about whether or not adultery can save your marriage. There was an article in The Guardian. It says basically in a self-help book that depending on why you cheat, it can actually be beneficial to maybe renewing your passion for your partner. Maybe in certain situations, you realize that what you had was really great and you value it more, I guess.
So is that like saying like, okay, I cheated, but now that I've cheated, I realize what I had and I don't want to lose it?
It's
Type
kind
of
of
deal.
like a little bit of a get out of jail free card for cheaters, in my opinion. I don't know if I necessarily agree or disagree. I think it's a situation that is probably depends on the couple and what surrounded the reason that there was infidelity. I don't know. I mean, I've been married for almost 30 years. I haven't had that experience, so I don't have a personal experience to really say how I would feel in that situation.
Can I tell you a story real quick?
Yes,
Tell us a
story
story
time.
time.
Story time. Let's go.
Okay, so when I was married in a previous life, my ex-husband really wanted an open relationship, and he's just like, oh, I'm going to do this and this, and you should have one too. And I wasn't into it because I couldn't trust him as far as I could see him, but he was insistent upon setting up these AFF accounts, right? So he set it up, and I guess just thought he was gonna be big balling, right? He gets on there, not one response. I get on there, 875 responses. So he was like, you should go out. I'm sure there's somebody for me. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he met someone and went out. I didn't really care because I was already talking to a lawyer. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So he went out, and then I was like, well, if you're going out, I'm gonna do the same thing. I want to see what I'm about to potentially step into as a single woman. So I go on like all these days, and he's sitting at home. He's like, you going out tonight? I was like, oh yeah, I'm going out tonight. I'll see you later. And he's just like, okay. So then, because he wasn't communicating with me directly, he decided to write me this little very sad sack text like, I feel like you forgot me and you've moved on and you're seeing all these people. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there are reasons that I'm not gonna say nobody should cheat. Obviously, there are times where if you're talking to someone else and your spouse gives you permission, do that. I don't care about that. But what I am going to say is before you get out there and you start doing this stuff, you really better recognize, do you really think that the grass is greener over there before you jump? Because when you jump and you have someone like me on the other side of the grass, it's going to be dry and I'm going to set it on fire is what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I was raised in the time of generation where my mama was always like, you need to make sure you have control of all the money so your husband can't cheat on you, right? So when I was engaged and before we got married, my mother had a talk with my husband and said to him, Michael, remember, what's your money is Jenny's money. What Jenny money is Jenny's money. And he said, yes, ma'am. And I was allowed to marry him. But my thing is, I stayed by you. It'll be 30 years in 2023. I bore you 2 children. I stay with you with your very challenging parents. And through all this therapy, you mess with me behind my back, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Because I know I am a find. People lucky to have me in their life. Yeah, no.
And you can get half of his retirement, more than half. It's 30 years, you're entitled to 70%. Don't let me start spouting off divorce law. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Before you do stuff like this, really look at your partner and say, is this somebody I trust? And that you can love beyond knowing that they've been with somebody else. That's the truth of the matter.
Yeah, I'm kind of petty. Dr. Val, do you have any thoughts on this? No, by the way, caveat is we're not talking about an abusive partner, okay?
Yeah.
That please exit that relationship as soon as you can afford to. But
Thank
Dr.
you,
Val, what
Bishop
are your
C.
thoughts on this?
Here's what I think, Miss Jenny C. I hope that going to the next year, that people realize that they can create whatever type of relationship they want to have. I am a big believer in having an open, honest conversation. Just because you're in a relationship does not mean that you are dead. It does not mean that you're not going to look at someone else. It does not mean you're going to want and or desire someone else sexually. Being in a relationship, I'm going to repeat it, does not mean those things. You are a human being. You're still going to want, you're still going to desire, and you might even need to have someone else. It is natural. But what isn't natural is you choosing to live in secrecy and go outside of your relationship. That is not the natural part. So I'm inviting people to listen to this episode, listen to some of our other previous episodes, and have honest conversations. It doesn't mean that you don't love the person if you have a desire for someone else. It really doesn't. It just means you're a physical person and that you have a physical attraction to another human being that is in your close proximity. It doesn't mean the love has diminished. However, if you cheat and you're sneaky, that love will diminish because once that trust is broken, it is next to impossible to get back. And I think the article that CeCe might be referencing to, people not only going to therapy, contacting people like myself that can do coaching around it or a therapist that can help them reestablish trust. Because, the physical part, you can wash that off when you're done. Let's be honest, right? There's soap and water. That can all clean up. But it's this heart center and this mind that will mess with you that will come into play. And eventually the stuff comes out. And that's where the relationship is toast. And that trust is what is really hard to get back. And so most people, when they go into therapy or coaching, around someone cheating, it's really about the trust is gone. That's really what they're there for. How do you get trust back? More so than he cheated and, a year ago or 6 months ago. It's really that whole trust factor is gone. But that's my personal opinion on that article. I think people need to grow up, be real about their attractions to other people, know it's okay, and know it's okay to have a conversation around it.
It actually says in the article, the recommendation is that if you cheat, you should never tell your partner. You
Mm,
should never share that you should keep it a secret. If you regret what you have done, or I mean, they have a certain reasons for cheating that would be a get out of jail free card. It says there's 17 reasons why people have affairs, and you need to think carefully about whether to stay with your primary partner if your affair is of the following kinds: breakout into selfhood affair, the unmet need affair, having experiences I missed out on affair, or the surrogate therapy affair, or the ejector seat affair.
what?
The what is the
Basically,
affair?
it's just like multiple levels of excuses for having an affair.
I felt like it was a get out of jail free card article. Like, I'm going to say you should tell your spouse and end your marriage if you have this kind of affair. Like, really? Like, that's pretty,
That's a bunch of hogwash. You
right?
know, I will tell you when I was speaking in Costa Rica, I was with a gentleman that I met when I was down here. We were actually we were all sharing a big house, and he's 70 plus years old. He's been married for 45 years. And he knows what I do professionally, and he wanted to talk to me. He's sharing with me that his wife of this many years is now suffering from dementia. This gentleman looks like he's 50, very active. He's a yoga guy. He's very, very fit. And this is the first time that he's traveled without his wife. And they have not been intimate in about 9 to 10 months. And he says, he has a desire to, be intimate with someone. He's still a viable, healthy man and wants to express himself sexually. And he had sought out a young lady while he was in Costa Rica for sex and was wondering, should he go back home and tell his wife that who is now in dementia. And so we had this deep conversation while we're walking the beach. And as I'm coaching him around this subject, he came to the realization that because of her mental state, that it would not benefit her to know that it would only hurt her in the end because, there was nothing she could do about it. She misses how they used to be. And he thinks that it would honestly hurt her. And his decision was to write a note to her and share with her what had happened and not actually tell her, verbally, but he had to find a way to release it. And he said he did that when he went back and that worked for him. But I think each couple has to have that conversation. That person has to have that conversation. If the partner has some kind of mental or physical situation and they have a sexual desire and step out, will it hurt the partner if they tell them? There's so many different scenarios, and it's hard to blanket it. You can't blanket this as a yes or no.
Yeah,
I think it's individually speaking. Jenny C, what do you think?
All it does is make me think of my hot topic, you guys, because the bottom line is that it really correlates to communication, self-awareness. However, my hot topic is about a woman who has threesomes with God and her husband. So now that gets into a whole nother, I can't, esoteric level of, I'm like, what? Okay, so what does it mean if you're having a spiritual threesome? And in the article, she doesn't even tell her husband, but she's doing this very public article about how she invokes literally God and even has intimacy relationships with just God.
Huh?
You know what I always think about when you said that? Y'all know the old mythology about Zeus?
Refresh all of us, please, Miss T.
So Zeus is a Greek god. He is probably the most popular Greek god that anybody would know back in the olden days when everybody used to celebrate and worship the pantheon of gods in Greek and Roman mythology. Zeus is notorious for being a garden tool. This is the easiest way to say that, because even though he was married to the patron goddess of marriage, he did whatever he wanted to do. He did whoever he wanted to do. And anyway, whether it was a ray of sunlight, a swan, himself in a different human form, because apparently if he showed himself in this god form, the person would like spontaneously combust. And that did happen in one of the mythologies. This is what is going through my head as Jenny C is talking about this woman is calling down God. I was like, she's having a Zeus moment with her and her husband. So
I think that lots of people invite imaginary partners into the bedroom.
They
What's
do.
wrong with that?
Dr. Bell is so confused. She's like, I prefer actual partners, like in the bedroom. Not.
Like, what do you mean they make up people in their bedroom? Like.
I mean, like they're in their imagination. Who knows who's in the room? In your mind.
I'll say this as a spiritual person, that you can invoke certain spirits and can get ridden and rode. You can invite a succubus or an incubus, and those things can ride you.
Okay,
It's very real.
I need clarification
Yes,
on
ma'am.
CeCe is
Friday
demonstrating this right now. Go ahead.
on an incubus and a whoabus.
Succubus,
Succubus.
incubus, and a
Yes.
succubus. They are energies that can be in anyone. You can be made into, or not be made, but you can be born with those energies into you, or you can invoke them to do certain kinds of work. Let's be honest. People catch the Holy Ghost. Why couldn't you catch a succubus?
You've never been called a succubus before?
For me? Oh, I have
No,
been.
I mean like just anybody in general up here.
Yeah, I've been called a succubus. There's a whole blog online about me. So
I just gotta chill. I just gotta chill, Edna mode. Woo! Woo! Woo!
That's fired.
Whoa! That just woo! I'm
Shots
still
fired.
riding my whoa.
Y'all are teaching me something tonight. So like,
So like in short, a succubus would be kind of like a female sex deity, and an incubus would be a male sex deity. I don't really want to call them demon because it depends on who.
yeah, they're not. They're not. They
what
just
religion or spirituality path that you follow. Some people
Yeah.
might call them demons. Some people might call them deities.
I call them deities.
where do you get one of these?
The easiest way to do, well, it's not really easy. One, you have to calm down your mind. You need to set an intention, and you need to go meditate. And when you go meditate, which we're going to get more into this today's topic, is how to still your mind and how to make your body aware of certain energies that are around you. When I tell y'all I have had some amazing things happen to me, you can't tell me these things didn't happen to me. Do you know how you can't tell me? Because there were other people in the room that experienced the same thing.
Yeah, hot she is. She's like hot.
Look, I be doing things.
Where
Yeah,
I am confused. Are you mean to tell me?
Let me arch my back and tell you yes.
Hold on.
Arch my back
Here
too.
we go.
I'm
Here we
arching.
go.
I'll bring the camera down. Go ahead.
Watch your back that you be calling in spirits in your hoo-ha.
I don't call them into my hoo-ha. Yeah, no, what I do is like, let's say I'm gonna call in a fae or a green man. We'll just use that because this is something everybody can recognize, right? Green man.
What,
You know
what man?
No, what's a green man? I want to know about green man.
Wait,
Green man?
green-
if I say green man, I want you to think just like there are female fertility, there are male fertility gods. A green man is green man in the forest, like he makes everything grow. What I did is I sat down and I set the intention of, okay, I have an interest in learning this and I need somebody to teach me who's open to teaching me. And immediately I had this feeling around me and I was like, okay, well, whoever this is, I need you to make yourself known to me. It's an honest trade, law of reciprocity. What do you have to offer me? And I'm like, what you mean what I got to offer? I'm the table. They can say, okay, I want your time. I want an offering. I want this. I want that. And you have to make the deal with them. In making the deal with them, honestly, some of them want intercourse. And you say yes or no. And they say, okay. And yes, when you are in your mind, when you are visualizing these things, it's not just a visualization at some point. At some point, it has actively started to happening. And I only know that this started to happening because there were other people around me that were feeling the same thing and could recognize the same energy and were having the same experiences. And no one was touching themselves, but everybody had the same orgasm almost at the same exact time.
Whoa.
Wow. So was it like led by a group leader or something that helped you guys channel this energy or
Me.
this deity?
Me. It was led by me.
Well,
Yeah.
You need to sign up for our Patreon because the VIP level is gonna be doing a session with Edna.
Yeah, it's not what I'm going to tell you is it's not hard, but you have to be safe about it, just like with anything, because sometimes energies can get attracted to you. And you have to be able to say no and not let them ride you. Incubus, succubus, all of these, there are more energies out here than that we are even able to get into. But once you decide that this is okay, this is a real thing. People can have experiences with their God. I can have an experience with whoever I'm, Shango. I can have it with whoever. You just have to put in the time and the dedication to doing it. And don't get me wrong, some of these deities will tell you no, like, no, I'm not interested in sex with you. Gross.
I have a question, Edna Mode. Remember that event that we went to, and I was sharing the bedroom on the other side of the hallway with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, y'all, just like confession time. So Jenny Z, who normally is never active at all, had a lot of fun by herself in that bedroom. Could you explain that to the audience and me who has been in menopause since cancer treatment? We gotta do it in a minute though, then we gotta go to break. But can you explain to me what the heck happened to me?
I apologize. Sometimes my magic is high and it spreads very
Mm.
easily, which is what happened to the other people that were in the house. And it catches like wildfire.
Every night, y'all. I was there for 3 nights. Woohoo! You're gonna want to be close to Edna Mode when we go away. When you're VIP level, and just bring your toys as well. I gotta say, I didn't even have a toy I made use with my Theragun. Anywho, Edna, would you please take us out? We have to pay our bills. Please take us out. We don't have much time.
Absolutely. Look, y'all, stay tuned. We got to go pay some bills and secure the bag. Join us back here on Power 1017 for the rest of our conversation. We'll be back in just a moment. Love you.
Oh my God, I gotta go and cool down. Evan, go fan yourselves. I got 20 more seconds to show you how I'm gonna fan. Oh, I have OnlyFans for my 12 cats, you all. Go to OnlyFans, look up Pussy Meow Galore. Those are for my 12 cats. We'll see you in a few.
Come my way.
Yes.
Come my way. Come my way. Come my way. Come my way. Come my way.
Happy holidays and welcome back to Brown Sugar Confessions. We'd like to say thank you so much for tuning in with us and staying with us and loving on us while we do all these amazing shows. Before we get started, I want to say, if you are not watching us on YouTube, head on over to Brown Sugar Confessions on YouTube and you can like, subscribe, comment, and share our show with everybody so they can jump on the Brown Sugar Confession train. You can also write us if you want to send in a viewer mail, which we love, at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. And if you have concerns, private issues, and you really want to seek some help, please reach out to Doc Val at Valerie at Swan Center. That's SWANN Center.com. Please reach out to her. She's an amazing therapist. And I wouldn't say that if I hadn't been to her myself. So get your heel on.
Get your heel on. That's right. But you know what? I got to say this. I want to wish everybody happy holidays. I didn't say it earlier. I know Jenny C did, but I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you guys can. But happy holidays out there in radio listening land. But Therese, okay, wait a minute. Before we get to the next subject, you left me so confused. House with Jenny C and something happening. I know if I am like, what the heck? I know the listeners are like, please, what happened at this house?
So we weren't even invited.
Yeah, and walk us through this because My girl, I gotta know. So just talk, girl.
But let's clarify. I was in a separate bedroom and across the hallway. I was not in the bedroom with her. Okay. Okay. Continue.
So what happened that day is I was heading a spiritual retreat, and we had done a lot of healing. I did some Reiki work on everyone there. We did guided meditation, some fire breathing. We let go, and I was cutting cords. And when you do something like that, you are calling upon a lot of energies. And I had a lot of energies working with me because everybody needed something very, very different. So I had called on my whole team to help me do this. And when I did that, some of the residual energy is built up in me, and it gets, when I say it gets high in me, I can touch people and shock them. Like, you will see electricity come out of my hands. My drinks will heat up. So that night, I didn't really have access to go outside. One, there was a powwow going on, and that energy was, because I'm part indigenous, was coming into me. So it was like I was on 10 that night, and I needed to disperse that energy. And the easiest way for me, being a succubus, to disperse the energy is through self-love. So I can lay down in my bed, and I can not touch myself and arouse myself through the energy around me. And when it disperses, I have no control over where it disperses. It goes. And a lot of that goes to people that, the way I'm set up, it goes to people that are working through their own healing and want to get back into it. So it went to the people that it needed to go to. And when I finally settled down, it settles down, and it settled throughout the house. And it literally was like, oh, hey, there's Jenny C. What are you doing, Jenny? Let me hang out with you. And then it just spread throughout the house. It spread through everyone else that had been at the healing retreat that day. And that night, everybody slept good.
Okay, so I gotta interject something. I arrived the night before, and I started the hashtag Get Your Heal On the night before the actual official event, and then I got to enjoy the repercussions for the 2 nights following before I finally went home. And even after Treese left, because she left the day before me, the residual of it still continued to be felt throughout my room.
Yeah, it goes for about, depending on how high I'm working, it can go anywhere between 24 to about 72 to 4 days, 72 hours to 4 days, depending on what I'm doing. That's how high the energy can be.
Wow, that is fascinating, and I want to experience it. I want to learn more about that. I know there's a couple of, well, I know there are several practitioners that talk about sexual energy without touching, right? And I think that will be an amazing topic to talk about in one of our future episodes. But also, I think maybe we could even invite Miss Treese to come into Patreon and really go into detail. So you better get into Patreon at Brown Sugar Confessions. She runs that, she being Treese. I'm going to invite her.
Tattling on me, huh? Just tattling on me.
I'm telling on you, and I'm asking you to come on in and share, how this could happen, because, I think that's amazing that you were able to do that with energy through walls, basically. And I've known both of you for many years, and I believe you when you said that energy transferred through a wall and went to Jenny C, and then wherever it went. I'm fascinated. So, girl, I want some of that, whatever that was.
I think you already have that. I think you already have that. What I'm saying is just, it comes to you in a different way. It comes to you in a very different way, but you have that because we both have that manifesting mouth.
Yeah.
Where we say things and then things happen, and you have that you have this same ability. It just comes to you in a very different way. Please don't make me ask you about that time that you had all them people on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not gonna say which time because it's like 50, 11 times, but the times that you had all the people on the floor.
Complete strangers.
So,
Complete strangers. Like
screaming.
Thank you, Miss T. Screaming.
Why is CeCe laughing in knowledge?
Because she was probably there.
So CeCe can confirm that you have the gift too.
You know what?
I can.
Go ahead.
I can confirm that.
I never
magic.
thought about that.
Dr. Val has some magic that she.
You know, I never thought about it like that, CeCe.
Yeah.
I guess you did witness it on one of the events that we just went to. CeCe was with me on one of the events in November, and she got to witness me doing some touch therapy and some somatic body work, and it was quite interesting and fascinating to see all these people responding and being stimulated through my voice. So I guess you're right. I never thought of it like that, Therese and Miss CeCe. So thank y'all for putting me in the light, girls. I'm learning something tonight.
Add succubus to your resume.
Learning. Oh.
So now that I've explained this, I want to go to Miss T because I hear the Republicans are reveling in an old Hollywood deep throat story.
Oh man.
Let's go, Miss T. Let's go. Spill it.
Man, the world is a very strange place. For everybody out here on the show and in Radio Land, do you remember one of our past first ladies, lovely woman named Nancy Reagan?
Yeah.
Everybody familiar with her?
Yeah.
All right. So, how do I explain this?
Just say no.
Just say no? Well, she was saying yes, apparently, a lot of times. So there was a situation that happened on the interwebs a few days ago where Abigail Shapiro? Yes, Abigail Shapiro apparently had taken some shots about Madonna, because you know Madonna pretty much looks like she's immortal and she's sucking the life out of somebody. So she looks young, she's showing off her body and all these things. And you know, it was a kind of like a classic slut shaming. And she was talking about how this is not a classy lady, and she shows a picture of Nancy Reagan. And somewhere out of the great wide blue world of Twitter, somebody responded, I think that people are forgetting the fact that Miss Reagan was at least the old superhead of Hollywood.
Define superhead. Define to superhead. What's superhead mean for those of us who don't know?
So superhead is somebody who literally has that deep throat. That deep throat.
That
deep throat.
Okay.
An eggplant. Connoisseur of eggplants.
I'm sorry for those of you on Radioland. CeCe just did a beautiful demonstration of that.
Yeah. And so First Lady Reagan apparently had that Guac Guac 3000 and was putting everybody to bed, literally and figuratively. So the people of Twitter got a hold of it, and there was a whole slew of memes. Let me see if I can bring one of those up for you.
Oh my God.
What I don't understand is how nobody, because I knew about this back in the day.
I didn't know about this.
I knew about this because I love Kitty Kildridge. I love reading her old books about old Hollywood. I love it. And she was talking about, how do you think Nancy Reagan got off the blacklist? It wasn't because Ronald Reagan loved her so much. He only agreed to help her after he met her for lunch. Ow.
All I got to say is, old Hollywood New Hollywood wasn't wilding as much as old Hollywood. I'm gonna just say it like that.
Yeah,
That's
Frank
all.
Sinatra. Yo, Frank Sinatra loved Nancy Reagan. What is
Man.
we talking? I'm like, how did y'all not know this?
I did not know this.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
what somebody put replying to one of the topic. According to Kitty Kelly's biography, Nancy Reagan was renowned in Hollywood for performing oral sex. Just Say Yes, Nancy, in the days when she was Nancy Davis, was known to give the best blowjob in town, not only in the evening, but in offices. That was one of the reasons she was very popular on the MGM lot. It must have made her very popular with Ronnie as well.
Yeah.
The front Oval Office door. I had no idea.
Everybody, when they say everybody, they mean everybody. Now go look at all them presidential pictures where she looking up at everybody like it's
Look at
got a
that.
whole new meaning.
Look at that picture of her and Mr. T where she kissing Mr. T on the head.
Mm-hmm. And there is actually a video of her dancing with Frank and old Ronnie standing to the side like this.
Like what? What's he doing? What's
He's doing the straight face.
He got purse lid. He like, if you don't get your hands off of her, I know what y'all used to do in the back of the day because she's fixing to do it tonight to me. Now get your hands off my woman. Look, it's a mess. It's a whole mess. But what I love about this is that some woman tried to use another woman to slut shame somebody and then got told on.
Man,
got told on. Like, this is a real thing. Don't ever hang around women that like to put down other women.
Yes.
For real.
Yes.
For man's attention.
Yes.
Because Ben Shapiro, we know his wife ain't happy. Just dry macaroni noises, sound like bones just jangling. Like, it's not even cute.
Did you say dry macaroni?
That's what it sounds like right there. That's what it sounds like.
Wait,
it just sounds like friction. It just sounds like friction.
Now, wait. Why? Now I gotta go make some vegan macaroni and cheese.
Go make some. Okay, everybody, go make some good macaroni noise. Go make that macaroni and stir it in the pot. And tell me that don't sound like the best you ever had in your life. Tell me it don't, because every time I make my homemade macaroni noise, look, I make macaroni, and then I be looking for my mans. I be like, hey, what y'all doing? This macaroni noise got something going on over here.
I am not ready. Y'all got wop, macaroni, Nancy all in the pot. I am so confused.
I like Jell-O.
That's my sound effect for you right there. I'm gonna make me some macaroni and cheese, vegan You guys I'm gonna post a picture of my vegan macaroni and cheese in the Patreon. It is so yummy.
Please tell me. Yeah, you gotta have to give me a recipe because
I'm gonna make a sound effect too. I'll record the sound effect for you, coupled with the picture.
Lord, Miss T, I'm gonna go to bed with Nancy Reagan in my mind tonight, and her.
Just wait till I can find the original post that I saw that had all the memes lined up with it.
All you have to do is search Nancy Reagan throat goat.
Yeah.
I wonder if some tips.
The greatest of all time.
Wait, was that a sound effect, CeCe? Or are you just making a thinking sound? Oh,
I wonder if she has some tips.
All right, speaking of tips, folks, we're going to bring us right back to Brown Sugar Confessions is here for you with the stress of the holidays. Listen, it started back in Thanksgiving and will extend through to January. How do we help you still do #GetYourHeal starting from the bottom up? Yes? Listen, we want you to start making a playlist of music that helps you get in the mood. None of that jingle bells, unless you really, really rock you, but none of the jingle bell stuff, that causes me stress. Because then I think about all the presents that I didn't give from my youth, because I'm healing right now and I'm going through trauma. But anyway, so you need to come up with a beautiful playlist. What are some songs that you all like to use? Edna, Mode, Miss Val, Miss T, Dr. Val, and CeCe. What What are your get in the mood music? Besides, of course, I do have Kapua, his entire 4 songs currently on my playlist, and I just think about him when I'm playing those songs. They help me get me in the mood. He has an album coming out soon, y'all, in 2022. Anyways, Miss T?
I mean, I think our theme song is kind of sexy.
Mm.
Y'all actually like listen to it? Like, listen to like, oh, okay. Do we got a full version of that? Because I feel like that could be thrown up on somebody's playlist.
That is a sexy theme song we got. I don't know where I found that at, but that is a very sexy one. You know what, Jenny C? Here's what I'm going to say, right? Number one, Kapua and his hips and his music. I'm all about it. You know, I see his hips in my mind quite a bit, and God knows I hear his music. He is just gorgeous as well as he's just a really sweet young man. But you know, I was in for my birthday and for anniversary, I'm in Costa Rica. And so, you know, we old as heck. So my husband's like, oh, maybe we should make a porn video.
Birthday porn, hashtag birthday porn.
Birthday porn. And I'm like, what? I mean, we old, I mean, like we 60, right? And we're like, okay, let's do it. We're about the shenanigans. Why not? And so he's like, oh, we need some sexy music. So I just go on my Spotify and I'm finding like, what I put in there, sexy porn music, and like all this music came up.
Wait. Hold on. Let me open up Spotify.
Do it.
This real quick.
Do it. Continue talking. Yes, look that up, Miss T. Dr. Val, continue with the birthday porn, please. I would like the story to be finished. Let's go, Dr. Val.
And we had the best time just playing and laughing and giggling. Like if you're in, you can't see me on the radio land, but they set up our room. We had this great massage, and we walked back in. They had candles in a walkway, and they had rose petals all in the walkway. They had them in our bed, and then we had this gorgeous spa tub in our hotel villa. They filled it up with the water. There was some kind of milky, like some kind of substance in there. It was so yummy. And then we had champagne and strawberries, chocolate and vanilla strawberries. Because they saw that we had a swirl going on. So they had 2 kinds of strawberries in our room. So we just had the best time just having fun with each other. And I was like, you know what? I've never done this before. He's like, oh, well, you have to turn the video camera on. You know, my deep German voice, right? German porn. That's some sick porn. But nevertheless, we go.
That's hardcore porn. Hardcore porn. Go ahead.
So
I love my German, but German porn is another way. It's another way to go. But we didn't do it in German porn. We kept it soft girl porn. But we had so much fun. And we're like, oh, we just had the best time. So CeCe found, I think Miss T found the music.
Yeah, can confirm. There are playlists.
Edna Murray too.
60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yep.
There you go. We had the best
For making a porn.
Mm-hmm.
For making love and sexual porn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Porn lounge. It's called
like,
porn
right.
lounge.
There it is.
Porn
So
lounge.
here's the reality, right? I'm like, all right, don't show this to the kids or the grandkids. He's like, well, yeah, don't show it to nobody. I'm like, well, how are we going to delete it or whatever? But anyway, we had the best fun. Just, you know, age is just a number, right? I'm inviting all of y'all just to have fun with your partners. Whoever it is, it's a threesome, fivesome, twosome, whatever makes you happy.
The orgy.
You know, we're alive. We should have fun.
Yes. So, CeCe, do you have any type of music specifically other than Spotify playlist we just found? Do you have any particular songs that just get you in the mood very quickly? Are there any songs in particular?
I think the sexiest Christmas music is probably actually Mariah Carey. She has the sexiest Christmas music.
So you're suggesting we should be in like our like sexiest outfit, decorating the tree, playing Mariah Carey?
So cute, right?
Yeah.
But if it's the rest of the year, I would say, I like the Rolling Stones, Beast of Burden and Brown Sugar, and like that's really hot for me.
Sweet.
Brown sugar. You know what, CeCe, when I'm in Costa Rica, and like one of the guys that was here at the party, he heard about the radio show. And for my birthday, they have it on video. They found Rolling Stone Brown Sugar Confessions music, and they played it on the beach in Costa Rica, and they all put me in a circle. They all got around me in a circle, and I danced to Brown Sugar Confessions. So thank you very much
Oh,
to from
Oh, awesome.
So
yeah, I gave
listen.
a shout out.
Oh, okay, that segues us right back into the little teaser we gave you about how Miss T performs live belly dance, right? And she also, are you currently teaching? I know Edna Mode occasionally will teach. I teach a cardio version of it called Sharky Workout, and also fusion format. I know Dr. Val is a professional teacher and performer, but Miss T, are there any specific movements you might suggest to our audience, if you could talk them through it, as a preparation to get in the mood? Now, we're not saying, by the way, that this is an overlap, right? In terms of
yes.
movement vocabulary. Yes.
Yes. So there are two, and I will say this: we're not going to get into full technique, but Kapua did talk about this a little bit in his show, where we talked about the umi, which is the internal hip circle. You might know of it as a whine, where you're just essentially just moving the hips, bringing the booty out, tucking in from the pelvis, like that deep, deep, deep hip circle. Like if you're grinding up on somebody, this is probably what you're doing. You're throwing it in a circle. That circle, that's always a good one to kind of help get you in the mood. Swaying to the music, listening to your music, and letting your body guide you. Also, you have your figure eight on the floor, where you're sticking one hip out, twisting it back, sticking the other hip out, twisting it back. Just allowing that to sway, especially if you have your partner holding on to you and they get to feel the movement of your hips as you're going. That usually can be a turn on.
Ooh. I want to add on to that, y'all, because we once did this very beautiful workshop with Dr. Val about the multiple different types of O's that women can have. And I've been consciously trying to remember to do this. We tend to hold our breath when you start to hit the peak of your O. And Dr. Val has always said, breathe throughout it. Don't hold your breath. It'll actually cut off, right? Actually achieving your O sometimes. Breathe through it. You'll feel it better. Dr. Val, is there a particular exercise we could practice in terms of the abdominal muscles to breathe so that we don't accidentally, because I still have to, when I teach and I'm working the hips or core work, I know I'm breathing because I'm talking out loud the whole time, and I cue my students to either do a hissing sound or count out loud backwards or yell at me because they're muted on Zoom, because they can. I give them full permission to cuss me out because I'm giving them a hard workout. Do you have any particular exercises we all could be doing to remember to breathe during the peak of an O, male and female?
I think the biggest thing for people to remember is to release their energy through sound. So, and when you're releasing your energy through sound, you're also being able to breathe the sound out. So, oftentimes, especially, I don't want to say especially with, but I notice with women when they're coming to me, they're very quiet when they're in that moment of ecstasy. And for whatever reason, they're not expressing with their voice how they're feeling, whether it be moaning or making any kind of sounds that might come from their mouths. So I invite my people that identify as female to really make sound and really connect with their abdomen as they're breathing and making sound. It is going to heighten your physical sexuality, and it's also going to heighten the release of your orgasm, and it will make the orgasm last longer. One thing about tantric is that you have the ability to breathe the orgasm through, and it lasts a lot longer. even if you're not a tantric practitioner or understand it, if you get in the habit with your partner of deep inhale and exhaling throughout the whole act of intercourse, and as you're releasing that big energy, take those nice deep breaths and really push the energy out. It really will intensify your release of energy through your orgasm. So that is a tip that I want to share with it. It doesn't matter what gender you are. This is for all genders. Release the energy through sound. And as that big release comes through, push the energy out with the sound as if it's going all the way through your body, out through whatever cavity you have, all the way out to release it. It's really going to help your intensity. So that is brown sugar confession tip of the day. Breathe and release your energy.
Hashtag make some sound. Make some noise. I actually like that better. So here's the thing, Dr. Vel. Can you give us an example of a sound we can all practice making together right now so our viewers know what to do? Because a lot of people, they don't even know what sound to make. You know it.
Is there a list of approved sounds and unapproved sounds?
Any sound. Just some suggestions. Some people, like when I ask them to breathe and go, oh, they don't even do that.
Yeah, I'm just going to give there are actually in the world of tantric, there are about, I know about 8 or 9, there's probably more different sounds that you can make. There's the cobra sound, there's the Y sound, but I'm just going to give you a very, very simple one. And this is not about tantric. This is just about good old breathing. It's, that's it. Inhale and
Oh wait, we're doing that now? Okay, hold on.
Energy down through your stomach, through your pelvic area, and all the way out your body. Instead of that, you're going to opposite and push and release.
I like this.
Well, with all genders do it. Much more intense release, a better connection to your pelvis area instead of you clenching and holding, releasing and pushing.
Thank you so much. Yes, I love this.
So here's send us an email that you did that too, right, Miss Jenny C?
Yes, email. Send us an email. Here's the thing, though. Remember, we're really strongly advocating that you do a combination of spontaneous fun, but also schedule relaxation and these breathing exercises in your hectic schedule that's coming up. Promise, okay? Promise to do that because it's super important. Even if you're just remembering just to make that noise. Put a little timer in your phone and be like, every morning you get up and you make that noise. Every night before you go to bed, you make that noise. 2 or 3 repetitions is all we ask for. Yes? So we run out of time. Ms. T, would you please take us out?
And everybody, it's time to get on out. It's time for bed or the day, whatever time you're listening to. But don't forget to check us out on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Like and subscribe to us. Also, don't forget, if you have a question for us, you can reach out to us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. Or if you have a sex and relationship question for Dr. Val specifically, reach out to her at Valerie@swancenter.com. Valerie@swan with 2 N's center.com. Also, check us out here Wednesdays at 11 on Power 1017, Thursdays on YouTube. Thanks for rocking with us tonight, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye, everybody.
Merry Christmas.